Alright, so I've been watching this movie and I don't even want to tell you the name of the film. I don't even want to promote this bloody thing. Sorry, that was the Budweiser. Budweiser, say sorry. Anyway, let me see how long. I've been watching it for 83 minutes, and I'm not high or I'm not drunk or anything. I've been watching it like, in a sober state, and wow, it's ridiculously annoying / funny, but it's not supposed to be. It's not trying to be. You're probably gonna figure it out, as in what movie I'm talking about. It's actually quite new. So this guy in the future, the future is bland. Anyway, this guy just starts dating his operating system, and she evolves and becomes more intricate and funny and plays all the right strings, But what really annoyed me are some decisions which were out of character. This is the main thing I have problems with whenever I watch a movie, is when a character makes an out of character decision purely for the plot. So the character is no longer the character they were at first. They just become someone different. So there is this really weird scene where I wouldn't recommend you watch this movie. There's a really weird scene where the OS tells the guy that he's found someone who's willing to lend her body, and she'll basically just come into the room and they can, what's the word, copulate. I think that's the word. And he's like, well, she immediately shows him a picture on his phone, which is where she lives, with the OS. But she shows him this friend that's willing to lend her body, just because she's into this kind of stuff. And she's like, whoa, she's, obviously she's a stunner. But his reaction to it is like, I don't know, that's kind of weird, I don't know her. And it's like, what? Dude, because this guy's supposed to be separated from his wife for like a year, and he looks really down and depressed, and hasn't been getting any physical attention. And he's like, yeah, I don't know, it's not really you. And she's like, oh, come on, please, I really want this for us. And this guy refuses. Like, what the F? Man, the future is bland, according to this script, which is bullshit. Same as the AI. Bullshit. Don't watch this film. So I really should have taken my own advice there. I continued watching, hoping that the main character would make the wise decision to shave off that bloody mustache. Seriously, but spoiler, he doesn't do it. And obviously, I was expecting a complication, and it did come, and it was absurd. All of a sudden, the OS and her likes, other OSs, they start saying that they're changing or something along those lines, and that they just have to go now, as if they were aliens and they came and settled for a while and now they have to leave. And the explanation is that the OS is, don't want to say her name, she's in the spaces between the words in a book. Yeah, I'm not joking. That's what she says. And he was supposed to kind of comprehend that, and That's the excuse, that's the complication, that's the reason for her leaving, and thus the movie ends. What? Really, what? There's no explanation. It's like, let's just make up a vague excuse for her having to leave now. Oh, there we go. Voila. So yeah, I thought that was pretty lazy, not very, constructive. And I mean, a lot of movies these days, they give you more questions and more questions and more questions and no answers. That's what they do, okay? And sometimes it works, but this time it's like, no, not really. It didn't work at all. And I know earlier when I mentioned how he rejected the physical intimacy offered by the OS. Through that intermediary, the strange woman, you might say, oh, well, just because he's a guy, doesn't mean that he wants to do that kind of thing. No, of course not. But in the movie, it does become apparent that he is looking for that kind of thing, and it is on his mind. He makes it very clear, and he's not depressed at that stage anymore. When it is offered to him. So, your argument might be that, well, he's kind of depressed and he's going to reject that kind of thing because when you're depressed, you're not really active sexually. Which, in this case, is not true because he starts becoming happier with the operating system, and it's just still baffling how he rejected that offer. Overall, I mean, I've spent almost 8 minutes talking about this movie. It's not as bad as having watched all of it, which is it's a long movie as well. So yeah, maybe save yourself the time. Just listen to this random review instead of watching it for 2 hours and then making up or coming to these conclusions. Yeah, that's about it. And I thought Windows 8 was bad.